Episode of Bros at Ringside. Yay, we're back. And a lot to talk about. I think almost like a month, not a month, but like 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about wrestling wise.
Last time we talked, we were talking Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So there's your barometer, and that was late. So
Yeah.
it's been a minute.
Yeah. So we got Summerslam to talk about. We got what was that? What was the AEW event? That was Forbidden Door.
That was the Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. We got Ring of Honor to talk about.
Which was a great show. Great show.
Yes. We got to talk about Vince. we got to talk about Vince. And because we got to talk about Vince, I gotta do it. I'm sorry. Gotta do it.
Oh, the Vince background.
You gotta do it.
You know, it'd be great if you photoshopped him out of it and it's just an empty do-rag because he's gone.
Or just put Trips as the new one with the do-rag.
Yeah. Trips with the do-rag. Do that.
I wish I'd meet Triple H. Like, Triple H, put this on for me. What the fuck is this? It's a do-rag.
This is kind of an odd request, sir, but please
Is that
put on the do-rag.
Yeah, is that a request, sir? Just put on a do-rag.
I mean, you already talked about Booker T back in the promo, so you could do the do-rag.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're like, come on, like just put this on. I ain't doing that shit. Come on.
That other clip went viral when it was like WWE used to get away with some shady shit back in the day, and there was Vince in the middle of the ring saying, "Okay, anybody who's not Caucasian, get out of the ring."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember that angle, but my God, who signed off on this? Somebody had to be able to tell. No, but somebody had to be able to tell Vince. You know, Vince, not for anything, bad idea, and they didn't do it. They let him get away with murder, and that's why we watch to see what he'd do next.
Probably Michael Hayes, because he's told who'd he say? He said to Mark Henry, "I'm blacker than you are."
Was that on camera?
That was backstage, off camera.
Off camera.
No, I was about to be like, wait, I don't remember.
I believe he told Mark Henry. It was like Michael Hayes was like, "I'm blacker than you are."
Oh my God, it's 24 years ago, happened off camera, and I'm still cringing. That's so goddamn bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince
Michael Hayes has always been problematic for me from the get-go, and it's a lot, and a reason why too, because he's one of the writers as well, and I've always had a problem with him because he kind of, for me, he's hold back a lot of black wrestlers, a lot of them.
I didn't realize he had that kind of power.
Including Vince too. I give Vince some credit on that shit too. But there's a lot of those writers, those talent, what do you call them? Talent relation, like all of them. Some of them have always held certain black wrestlers back, and Michael Hayes is one of them. I want him to go to, like, including the other one. What's his name? Mike Dunn. Kevin Dunn. Yeah.
Kevin Dunn, his time is over.
Go.
It will be done.
But all right, so because it's been a while, let's talk about the Vince getting fired. Since we're here.
Well, because it affects everything else. The way SummerSlam was presented hinted at Triple H's fingerprints, and then that Raw, definitely. So that is a great place to start. Sorry, Roundhouse. I'm just supporting my leader.
Go ahead. No, go. No, you already started. Go ahead.
No, I think SummerSlam I watched, and I haven't been the most avid WWE fan. Anybody who's watched this show and has seen my ugly face spouting and ranting and raving, it's always been because of the opportunities they missed. And I feel like SummerSlam was the first show in ages where it looked like they were starting to get back and really looking at their talent. We all knew Bayley was coming back. I didn't think Bayley was going to come back as strong as she did.
I didn't know she was coming back at all, to be honest.
Oh, no, I knew she was going to be back at this show. I just figured she was going to make a run-in. I was not expecting a faction to be born. And whether or not they're actually called Control is irrelevant. That's an amazing way to describe it. It was like, look, the wrestlers are taking ownership over their characters. This is who Bayley wants to be, and this is who she wants to be with. And it was beautiful to watch. Dakota Kai coming back. I don't like Io Sky's name. I like her. Io Shirai was awesome. No need to change that. But overall,
they also. I mean, I I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, so I guess they're going off of how she always likes to do all those crazy
Crazy
stunts.
Scott, yeah.
So
Well, her name is Genius. Her name is Genius of the Sky. So
yeah,
Oh, so it's in the name. Okay.
Did you hear what they were originally going to name her? Butch.
oh,
Sorry.
Well,
there you go.
what were they gonna name him?
No, I said Butch.
He said Bush.
Butch.
I was hoping to get away from the name changes. I think if they're known on the indies, WWE's biggest flaw, Vince McMahon's biggest flaw over the last 10 years,
One of them
is assuming that wrestling fans aren't paying attention to the internet and watching other companies.
Thank you.
And because of that, when you bring somebody in with a recognizable name and you change it, to me, that reeks of insecurity. He's like, I have to own you and I have to own the property. You know, you couldn't be Killer Cross, you had to be Karrion Cross.
You can't be Keith Lee, the Bearcat Keith Lee.
Exactly. Everybody, or you know what? You were Adrian Neville, then you were Neville.
Neville.
You know, you take away your first names because then it's easier for me to own your name.
Austin Theory. Now you're just Theory.
Yes, and I would love if somebody cut a promo and said you're the Theory, but I'm what happens in practice. I would love that because it's a terrible name for a wrestler. Austin Theory, on the other hand, is a very powerful name.
Yes.
There's a lot of things they did wrong there, and I was hoping that we'd get away from the name changes, but that's a minor blemish on what was an otherwise very strong pay-per-view.
Yeah, Triple H gonna have multiple names. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Cerebral Assassin, The Game. If he could have multiple fucking names like that, I mean,
The Rock, the Brahma Bull.
Oh, yeah.
You name it. You could do this with anyone.
Shawn Michaels, a showstopper. You know, like
Mr. WrestleMania.
I mean, Bobby Roode, the it factor, the this and that, but he hasn't been an it factor at all.
What's going on with Bobby Roode?
I think he works in the back now. Honestly, I think he just works in the back.
I think he's down at the Performance Center. Actually, I think he's training.
I think he's training. And what a shame that Bobby Roode has come to this point, right? I'm talking about a TNA top star, somebody that in one regard reminded us of like we wanted to see Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode. We never got it because Bobby Roode at the time was on and Randy Orton were on like the top. And it was like, what if these two met? Because Bobby Roode was like really putting in the work.
Yeah, but I was excited in NXT. I love this character in NXT.
Yeah.
When they brought him up, that was cool too. But then I started adding him into tag teams and not using him.
He's Cesaro. They didn't think he could carry it on the mic. And without that mic, you're nothing in Vince's WWE.
Yeah.
But Bobby Roode can carry it on the mic. He's proved it playing.
He's all right on the mic. I don't think he's great. I think he's very dated, in my opinion, in his presentation. I think he needs a Heyman or he needs to be a silent assassin. But I think he's such a strong in-ring performer. We might just see him in the months to come because I think they're going to reward that.
We'll see.
Of course.
Back to Vince being fired. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray? Are we happy?
Well, so far, I'm excited.
This should have been done years ago.
Give me a number of years. What are you talking about? Like when he was 65, or when he would turn 70?
This should have been back in 2010. This should have been.
Holy shit!
This should have been done.
Yeah.
You say 2010. Hold up. You saying 2010? When 2010 was around, Cena was at the top of the game. And he had, at the time, 6 or 7 championships at this point? 6 or 7, 8 championships? Was it 10 he had already?
But the thing is that with Cena, you had Nexus, and I will still never forgive Nexus not going over at that SummerSlam. I will never forgive that.
Or Alex Riley.
But the thing is that after that, I was just like, Vince, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you burying Nexus right now? So once that was done, I said Vince should have won.
I mean, you say
But
2010, but I'm thinking 2010 Batista was around as well at that time.
Now build to bury. That's what Vince did. He built up characters to bury them.
yep,
The ascension, and again,
Ugh.
Karrion Kross coming up and losing in 18 seconds to Jeff Hardy killed months and months and months of character build in NXT. Killed it,
Yep.
destroyed it. And I think Vince, like, you know, when you have like a breeder tank of fish that you're going to feed to bigger fish, I think
Yeah.
he sees NXT as a breeder tank.
hmm
And I think he was building chum and bait to serve
Yeah.
to his stars who would perform in, 200, 300 nights a year until like he could get no more money from them, and then he'd move on. I don't think he really believed in building stars. I mean, look how long he ran Hulk Hogan for. Even when they came back, he saw money in there. What could have gone to a younger, more capable wrestler. Instead, we had The Rock and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Think about it. So I don't know, man. I'm 10 years overdue minimum, and it's not because I don't respect what he did for the business. I'm not even factoring in the allegations against him. He lost touch with what people wanted, and he forgot what made him successful
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah, that's right. I feel
Yeah.
the same because for a while I stopped watching, and then I picked it back up, and some spots were great, but other than that, I wasn't really interested in the product. Now AEW comes around and is giving me something that I really want, and I'm getting to see new talent, and I'm also seeing the talent that I love to watch on WWE's TV time. But you know, now we're getting a something we got with something with NXT that was great, and then look what happened with that. Once it came out of Triple H's hands, it was done.
I agree. I honestly say this, like, I stopped watching WWE, like the main rosters, for a while until like I was like, NXT is my show, right? It was like, I'll watch NXT because NXT was more exciting than watching anything that was going on Raw or anything that was going on SmackDown. It was just like, okay, what is going on here? Not like AEW. I mean, not AEW. NXT had me like hooked, storyline wise. What was going on? Like the era of the red and gold. You had Keith Lee. You had Adam Cole. You had EO. You had a lot of wrestlers on there. A lot of good indie wrestlers, and even indie wrestlers that were making a name for themselves in WWE. And I can't stand the fact that the biggest problem, one of the biggest problem, what you said, Brad, was Vince didn't stopped bringing up wrestlers like the young wrestlers. And the problem is what I have with that, which is like, we're not fucking stupid. Stop acting like we're fucking stupid and we don't know these fucking characters who are wrestling at NXT under a name that they already developed down there. It's still development, but that development carries over. Like stop this shit. Just because it's developmental doesn't mean that it shouldn't carry over. If it carries over, that gives them even bigger pop. Kevin Owens kept his fucking name. If it's okay,
No, he didn't. He was Kevin
No, he
Steen.
was Kevin Steen.
when he
Yeah.
first debuted in NXT, it was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, because Vince changed it then.
Yeah.
Kevin
changed
Steen.
it to Kevin. Yeah,
He was
But
well known around
Yeah.
the world.
He was Kevin Steen, but that was his real name anyway.
I think the only one that really kept his name was Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Adam Cole.
There's
Adam
no
Cole.
rime or reason to it.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
Baby.
Well,
Why
it's a
change
great
that?
name, but again, though, why change Pete Dunne
Good question. Why?
after you built him up as Pete Dunne in the UK?
Why change Walter?
the thing that made me question about Vince with NXT and how writing was in terms of when someone from NXT gets called up to the main roster, be like, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? We had a whole Survivor Series in 2019 that was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
NXT. Yep.
And then y'all gonna act like, for example, if Shayna Baszler came up or if Pete Dunne came up, or if Keith Lee came up. Y'all gonna be like, who's this? We never seen this person before. We've seen them at Survivor Series.
We
Like
seen Keith Lee at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
even Keith Lee at the Rumble. We've
Yeah.
seen Dakota Kai at the Rumble.
We seen Adam Cole at the Royal Rumble as well. We seen Pete Dunne at the Royal Rumble. We seen a lot of these like, and that was the smart thing for them to do, to actually include the NXT wrestlers in the Royal Rumble. Because I remember that one that year where everybody was getting fired, and it was like, who the fuck they got to put in there now? And all they did was just bring back and bring back certain wrestlers, and it was just like, you're wrong for that. Just put in the people that are at the top of NXT in the Royal Rumbles. Save yourself some time, right? And I think it's because they didn't put them in there more recently. I think it's because, one, they will have a sellout crowd for their Saturday night events, NXT. You don't have it like that anymore. NXT, when they have their wrestling events on Saturday and the main roster will have their events on Sunday, NXT will blow them out of the fucking water. Every fucking time. Every Saturday, every time. I've never been to an NXT event where I was dissatisfied. Period.
Because the product that we were getting was stale.
Like, and I mean, War Games itself was monumental. Like just the sheer fact we got 2 rings, got in a cage, go at it. Like, and then what was it? What was the other one, Clinton? We went to NXT. What was the last stand?
We went to Brooklyn Takeover.
Right, Takeover. Takeover is just sold out every fucking time. There's not an empty seat, and they put on a show. They go to fuck all out, and they don't hold back neither.
Because they're hungry.
Ricochet shines his best at NXT. We were there for that, Clinton.
Well, I'm happy now that they're making changes because Ricochet got a win over.
Yeah. He when we went, he won the North American title.
He won the North American title against Cole.
Yeah, and that was great. Like, great seating, great. Just the sheer crowd was just all into it. Sunday was the next Sunday was, I forgot what the next Sunday was.
It was SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was like
It was SummerSlam. Which Oh, that was a SummerSlam where Becky had that whole turn against Charlotte.
Yeah. That was it. But the men's, it was like,
But the thing with me, and let's go. I mean, we're going to go back to Vince. This was a long time coming. Vince needed to go because this product for the last 2 years have been going to shits. And AEW has been whooping that ass creative wise.
Yeah.
And now since Trips is back in full control, I am excited for it. SummerSlam was the last bits and pieces for Vince, and Raw and SmackDown have been really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It built up Nakamura because now Nakamura is going to be facing Gunther next week. It built up Ricochet after Ricochet's been buried way too much, and now he got to win over Happy Corbin. You saw new faces with Dakota, Io, and now Karrion. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I am too.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's unhappy? There's got to be people backstage that are like, well, I'm about to lose my spot to a Ricochet. Or
Brock.
To somebody. I think Brock is content. I think Brock is probably like, if that's my last match, I went out laughing, I went out smiling, and I lifted.
Yeah, he had fun. Hell yeah,
he had a blast. It was a great run for him. The face run was great.
I think he's scheduled for day 1 this year coming up.
They're not giving up on Brock Lesnar, but I think you got to repackage him a little bit. That can't be the end game for any heavyweight contender. I think
you need to have him give him a final run, let him have fun with it, you know.
But who's unhappy? I think Austin Theory's unhappy, and I'm going to call him Austin Theory.
Oh yeah,
I think he's unhappy because he had this unbelievable rocket strapped to his ass for the last few years. And it was a great gimmick. It was great. But are you buying him in a ring against Roman or Brock Lesnar?
No.
No.
And this is what I was telling Chris. This is what I was telling man. I was like, I don't see him as the future. He was like, yeah, well, Vince. I was like, nah, bro. Like, I don't see him because nobody's gonna get behind him like that.
So I feel it's only because
I
they're
just want you
not
to say. I just
using
want you
him
to
the
say I
right
was
way.
right. I just want you to say I was right. That's all.
No, they're not using him the right way. That's what it is. It's like
Just
when
say
you use a
just say
person
I'm
the right
right.
way,
I love
that's
you.
when you get.
Just say I'm right.
You're not right though.
I'm right.
You're not right. If we're talking about the person himself,
Just his
like
trajectory and him
that's just
being
how.
as a top dog.
But that's how you feel. It's an opinion. It's the
He
same way.
shouldn't
Like
have won
that's how
Money in
I
the Bank.
feel. You know
He
what I'm
shouldn't
saying?
have won Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
Thank you.
he shouldn't have won Money in the Bank, but they were pushing him. That's all Vince is doing. Vince was doing shit that we didn't approve of. Do I think that he should carry the Money in the Bank right now? No, he should at least have at least a good 2-3 years before he would have won the Money in the Bank. Then that would have solidified his character in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Look at Miz. Like Miz was already established. Did we hate him? Yeah, we didn't like him as a character, but when he won Money in the Bank and then he stole the freaking championship and then he had that championship run, did you gravitate a little more towards him? Yeah, he was a pretty decent
Right.
champion.
Right. Well, here's the thing about the Miz. He could talk his shit, right? And I'll give him a B plus on his wrestling repertoire. I give him a B plus on it. But Brass is lower. I said B. Listen, I said B. I ain't giving no A. Brad's like
I think Miz is one of those guys who's
C plus.
unhappy
Okay,
right now.
Brad. C plus. All right.
He's
C plus.
great to work with, though. He
I
pushes.
like the Miz. I think Triple H likes the Miz. The thing is, though, we've seen the best of what the Miz has. We saw it 10 years ago. He's been a tremendous asset, and I think he's going to be a tremendous coach for this company and an advocate for this company for years to come. But he's like Titus O'Neil. I think at this point he's going to drift out of the wrestling role and do something else.
Yeah, for sure.
He's an ambassador. It's not that I don't like the Miz. I just feel like, okay, we've seen it. This is as far as he's going to go. He even had a world championship run, but nobody really bought it then either. I think this is it.
I think the problem is also too the fact when it comes to Theory, right? Theory doesn't have the mic skills yet, which is fine. But
was he on NXT? No, right? He just went straight to
was.
main.
Oh, he was. He was in the way.
Yeah, he was in the way with
and Candace. And
he was in the way.
Oh, he was in the way. He was in the
Yeah, you know what? See, I didn't pay attention to him there, but when they brought him on main roster, you pay attention to the guy. Is he great in the ring? No, but I would like to see more of him. I like what they're doing, but they just need to change it.
You know what's weird?
They need to make him more appealing.
I wish he did win the United States Championship. Not for nothing. I wish he did. That way, Bobby Lashley could have went against. We could have had Roman versus Bobby Lashley. Actually, have it. I think it would have been better off if we actually did that. Because not for nothing, Roman still. Well, we saw what happened on Sunday. But if that never happened on Sunday, who would Roman go against now? Besides Drew, and then after that, and after Drew's done, Drew. I mean, they'll have rematch.
Randy Orton one more time.
Yeah. But here's the thing. After I watched SmackDown, before that, I was like, Austin is going to have a failed cash in. Now I'm thinking he's going to cash in and win because of
who?
Theory. I thought Theory was going to have a failed cash in, but now after watching SmackDown and the seeds that they're planning, he's going to get the cash in and win. Sami Zayn is going to screw them over.
I can see that. Also, because
you see how Sami Zayn is trying to get into to talk to Roman, and the Usos is not trying to get him and things like that. They're trying to steer Sami away, and then when something happens, Sami's going to screw Roman over, and
the Usos are going to beat him up. That's what's going to happen. The Usos are going to beat him up, especially Jimmy. Or is it Jay? Yeah, Jimmy is going to beat him up. right?
Jay
The right hand man of the tribal chief. He's going to beat Sammy up, and it may not. And I think that's what's going to happen, because if you look at the body language of both Usos, one of them is like, "Yo, man, this he don't want to talk to you. He's kind of laid back with it, right?"
Jimmy.
The other one is all like, "Yo, get the fuck away from me," So it's one of those things where I see one Uso being still like. So the dynamic between the Usos, right? They're still a tag team. Nothing's gonna happen with them. That's not it. But I think with Jimmy, right? He's going to be way more of the right hand man, like he's supposed to be, because you see it now a little bit more on Sunday with Sammy, right? It came out a little bit more, right? The annoyance, the arrogance, just to be like, "Yo, get the fuck away from me." Whereas the other one's like, "Nah, man, he don't want to talk to you." You know what I mean? It's the dynamic of it, where they're playing these roles now, and I like it, because for now they've always been the Usos. They always talk, but now you see Jimmy actually standing out a little bit more, being that right hand man to the tribal chief, and I'm okay with that.
But
I'm
you know
okay
what
with that.
that's doing, right? That's setting the seeds for discontent within the bloodline.
Right.
And I think it needs to happen. I think, they've talked about the length of this reign and this
Mhm.
dominance. You can only be so dominant for so long before people get bored. And I think we're right at that cusp where people are going to start turning on everybody. For years, Roman fought against people booing him and this and that. Now people are behind him because they're buying him as the champion. But I think you have the Usos lose their belts first, causes dissent in the bloodline because they're not dominant anymore. That splinters the whole thing. Then Roman gets a long overdue vacation, and then he comes back as a tremendous face when he comes back.
I thought the seed was going to have. I thought because with SummerSlam, I thought Street Profits was going to take the title away from the Usos.
They're going to break up too. Oh, it makes me angry.
That
Yeah,
should.
you said Brad was hoping for the split. I was like, nope.
I wasn't hoping for it. I just thought it was going to happen. I liked them together. I'm just afraid of what's going to happen to Dawkins once Ford gets the rocket ship on his ass.
I'm concerned about it too, but also concerned that there's not enough tag teams. Period.
Then why are they teasing it? Just to screw with us?
Okay, let's count on our hands how many tag teams. You got Street Profits, you got
yeah, all right, but Trips is in charge. We can get more tag teams.
Yeah.
What I need to know
not
is
made up tag teams neither.
So here's the thing with that. So I feel right now, and we've gotten it already with 2 titles. He's bringing back notoriety to these championships. Look what he did with the gauntlet on Raw for the US championship.
That video
now you have
package was
Ciampa with a freaking, he's number 1 contender for that. And then now you're building a story between Shinsuke and Gunther.
Yeah.
All gold should matter. Period.
I've heard a little rumbling stuff.
I even feel that the day that Sasha and Naomi decide to come back on screen, they're walking out with the tag titles.
Oh, I have them as winning the tournament. They're going to be winning the tournament.
I honestly think if they don't,
they're going to start a tournament on Raw.
Yeah, they're doing
the tag titles.
For the women's titles.
Yeah.
Oh, did they announce that?
They announced it on SmackDown.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch SmackDown, so I got to check it out.
I'd love if they walked out with Laurinaitis in a headlock. He's fired now, so it couldn't happen. But technically, he was the last women's championship because they relinquished it to them.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think that if they don't, in order for the bloodline to be a little bit more successful, they have to include some of their fucking bloodline. They have to get some women in that fucking shit. I'm sorry. Somebody. I'm serious, but this bloodline thing should not just be all the men. Should be the women too.
It should have been Nia and Tamina it should be Nia and Tamina in the bloodline.
And not for nothing, like I would love to see a little like back and forth between Naomi and Roman as like, why the hell I'm not in the bloodline? I'm part of this family too. Just something. Give us some drama. little bit of drama between it, just being like, why am I not in the bloodline too? It's like y'all winning championships, but what about me? It's like y'all and just drop some bombs. Like y'all let them let me walk. Just something. Give us some type of drama. Just a little sting just a little sting, because they always like to drop zingers, right? Nobody's oblivious to the fucking news that's going on. Let Naomi have a sting. Like, why did you let them make me walk? Why'd you let them do what they did to me? I thought I was a part of the bloodline too. Just bam, hit him, just hit him where it hurts, and then have Roman just really be like on some real shit, like yo, get your wife type shit. Like yo, don't talk to my wife like that. Like she's family too. Like that's how you start breaking up the tag teams a little bit. Not even breaking it up, but
I would use it. I would use that as friction. That would make sense.
Yeah, that would be good. And then you give Jimmy Uso a bottle of vodka and a set of car keys. Yeah, I said it. It's not like it didn't happen 3 times.
Didn't it just happen recently? Raw was champion?
I think we should do driving lessons with Jeff Hardy and Jimmy Uso. Oh come on. We can't make jokes
on it. That'd be a great YouTube show.
It's called Bumper Cars.
Thank you. Welcome back, Clinton. Come on. You know what? You can't be in the public eye, act like a jackass, and not expect to get made fun of for it. Thank God nobody got hurt. Let's leave it at that.
But yeah, I do think there should be some new blood, like something added into the bloodline, because it's just so stupid that you don't have Naomi or Nia, not Nia, Tamina in there. I just think it's stupid. And then you have the younger Uso in NXT.
So he doesn't want part of.
He
bloodline.
Doesn't want to, right?
Why would you not want that?
But
he wants to be able to. He was like The Rock when The Rock first started out. He wants to be able to stand on his own 2 feet. He doesn't want to be.
It's stupid.
Dumb.
It's dumb.
You take any opportunity. Storylines change on a heartbeat. You can come up that way and then immediately splinter off, and nobody even remember you were part of it. Who's looking at going The Rock? Boy, the Nation of Domination. That's the reason he is what he is.
I mean,
he splintered off, but the Nation of Domination put him in front of us and made us take him seriously.
And people forget the Nation of Domination was Farouk, The Rock, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown, and Owen Hart. People forget
that is true. That is true.
Owen Hart was part of the Nation of Domination
for like a good.
He was the Nugget, and he hate being called the Nugget.
Nugget for a good week. I forgot about that too.
Yeah. But here's the thing about Nation of Domination. Owen Hart would talk his shit in Nation Domination. He was just like, I'm not taking this shit. I was like, all right, cool. Like, Nation Domination, always all black people, but okay, Owen Hart got some shit behind him.
So I have a question. So if you have to rate, so what do you think were the great matches of SummerSlam, and what were the bad matches of SummerSlam? I thought the matches itself were good.
Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley.
I love that match.
That was a solid match.
I love that match.
I could do without it.
I could do without McAfee and Corbin. That match was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, though, you got to give McAfee credit.
Yeah,
the kid's learning how to wrestle. He's not, and you know what? Actually, I was gonna say, what's his name? Social media boy.
Oh, Logan Paul.
He's like Logan Paul right now. He's completing a side quest.
I don't
right now.
And well put. Logan Paul, I gotta tell you, I don't like the guy. I don't like his family. I don't like his mouth.
Agreed.
But where credit is due, the kid has learned how to wrestle.
He's a pure athlete.
But it takes more than athletic ability. He told the story. I actually asked you guys on the group chat right before. I said, can he tell a story? And then he proceeded to shut me up 10 times over. I actually like his future here.
Yep.
And so at
he
first
signed
I'm
a multi-year deal too. I think he's on for like 2 years or something like that.
I appreciate what he's doing. I still wish other more established wrestlers who paid their dues would have that spot on such a big show. And that's where the McAfee complaints come in as well. But let's be real. What's right is right, and he handled that match like a champion.
Agreed.
Really, really well.
I thought the matches itself were overall good. I mean, the best match of the night, honestly, was Brock and Roman. That was
It started off slow, but then when it picked up, and then the tractor got involved, I was all in.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what match. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I actually thought somebody was going to bump their head on that top of the part of the tractor because it was so much into the ring. I was like, let Brock get thrown into that shit. Boom, done. 1, 2, 3. It looked too close for it.
I thought they were going to bury him under the thing, and it was going to hold him down. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then they ended up burying him under tables. Now, listen, Brock Lesnar might be a little older than he was, but I don't think folding chairs and tables are going to hold the man down after everything he went through. So I would have rather they used the tractor in that sense.
Agree. I thought they was going to put him in the tractor, lift him up, and that's how he was going to get the win.
Yeah, that would have worked too. That would have been a good visual too.
Did just dump him out into the ring?
No. Just like put him in the tractor and lift him up.
Yeah, but you could still get up.
Yeah, you have to get up. I thought they were going to put
and then he would have probably like launched himself off of it or something like that, just like he did in the beginning of the match.
I thought they were going to put the tractor, like him in the tractor, and then fold it on him and trap him in there. And then
that's basically what Brad's talking about.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if like one of them was down and the tractor went up and actually got them to their feet. Continuing that would have been, it would have been a hell of a lot to coordinate.
You could have did that with Roman. Roman was like halfway in it. Mm-hmm. And then one of the Usos just like lifted him up.
Yes,
stand up on his feet. That would have been a cool angle.
That would have been fun. One match I could do without. I'm done with Dominic Mysterio. All respect to his family and his lineage. I don't want to see him anymore. I've had it.
I said what I've been saying about Dominic for a minute. He needs to be like Sammy Guevara. He's not like Sammy Guevara. He's too much like his father. He needs a little edge to him. He doesn't have any edge to him. I don't mean turning heel. I think just his wrestling repertoire needs to be a little bit more updated. He needs to be Ray and Eddie in the wrestling ring. He can't be just Ray. He's too fucking tall to be Ray.
He needs to be Ray Phoenix.
I'll say that. Yeah.
Apparently he might be getting the mask soon because Ray's looking to retire, but he wants Dominic to have the mask.
Ray should. It's weird. Ray outlasts John Cena. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cena's not done yet.
He's definitely not. He's like The Rock. They're not done.
The Rock is not putting his career at risk anymore at 52 years old. It's over. He'll do a match. He'll do spots.
I think
he's not wrestling anymore.
The only one spot we see him wrestling at now is just him versus Roman. That's it. And we don't know when that's going to happen because the DC and everything that's going on with that. And so, not to mention it's his own business. The reason why the Black Adam movie got so pushed is because The Rock put his own company behind that shit. So we don't know what's going on with that. So we don't know how long he's going to be.
Oh, shit. You said DC Comics. I thought you said DC because there's always those rumblings that The Rock's going to run for office.
Oh,
I thought you meant like Washington.
Well, shit. Somebody should. Fuck it. I don't.
At this point, why not?
Why not? Right?
Why not? America's why not?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Whatever. But, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I at first I'm like, really? Is he running?
He runs in Young Rock. He runs in Young Rock.
In Young Rock in the show, he does run, and he wins, right? He wins.
No. That's cliffhanger for next season.
Oh, okay. But the little tease about Roman Reigns. Come on, Dewey. Wrestle me. Acknowledge me. I was like,
I think he knows what he's doing. I think Rock and Roman is definitely going to happen. Yeah.
The little jab at him in his show, I was like,
But
All right,
but
now.
here's my thing: who goes over on that? Do you keep Roman over,
No,
or do
yeah,
you
oh,
have The Rock shit on him completely?
The Rock's
You-
still a wrestler at heart and in his
Yeah.
brain. And how are you supposed to retire in wrestling? Looking at the lights. He's gonna go. He's gonna put Roman over because he knows
Yeah.
he's not going to be there to protect anything, whether
Yeah.
it's a championship match or not. Why bury Roman when he's got to go out there tomorrow night and do it
I'll
again?
tell you right now that Monday promo is going to be ridiculous because he's going to. I would be like, hey, not even the great one can beat me,
If it
This
happens,
I still
and he
think
would be champion for almost 900 days at that point.
my favorite Roman
From
promo,
now until April, because it's already 700 days, right? Already
800 now. No, it's our
my
seven started after the day after SummerSlam.
Okay.
So
Go ahead,
that
Clint.
would be I was thinking, yeah, it's about 900. My favorite Roman promo ever is still the one after WrestleMania 33 when he beat The Undertaker.
My
And
yard
he
now.
said 5 words. This is my yard now. If he does the same thing with The Rock, it's still going to be amazing.
Yeah, but now he has a little bit more swag, so it'll be a lot more talking. He could say the 5 words. There's like, because when you talk about their family, like just the Samoan family itself, like in the grand scheme of things, Rock is the tribal chief out of everybody. He's the top. He's literally the tribal chief when it comes to the entire fucking Samoan Inoue family. He's at the top, right? So in some regards, The Rock may be like, "Oh, you're playing chief. I actually am the chief." So he, you know what I mean? That type of dynamic.
Oh, if I was The Rock, I'd come back immediately. And go, thanks for keeping my seat warm, but I'm
Right.
back. I'm here now. Yeah.
But for real though, like in the whole dynamic of the Inoue family, The Rock is still the top. He's the top, right? Because Rocky Johnson was chief at one point as well. So Rock's at the top.
Rocky Johnson was the man. You ever
Yeah.
watch some of his own matches? That man can
Oh, yeah.
work. Oh,
Yeah. Yes. So I mean, it would be great promo if The Rock comes back and like Brad said, thanks for keeping my seat warm. He's like, you're playing chief, but I really am the chief. He's like, how you think you get away with all this stuff? And a little jab at Jimmy is like, oh, you think because of your accidents that you would still be here? Who do you think got you still staying here in wrestling?
yeah.
That would be the most jab in there.
So he's
Oh,
just shitting
yeah.
on them because he's
Yeah,
the
who-
big dog.
Yeah.
mean,
Who do you
yeah.
think paid your bail?
You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously, let's be real. Oh, you think it was Roman? No. It was me, the Brahma Bull. Eating. Like just go off. Like
Keep going.
if you think about the whole thing, like all the shit that Roman's going through, all the shit that he's talking shit, like he's like, how do you like Rock becomes like, how do you think you're at the top of your game? It's because of me. It's because of me. It's always been me. Like the fact that the puppet pulling the strings ain't always been what you thought it was. It's always been The Rock because he is the actual tribal chief and he still runs this shit. That would be a fucking smack into Roman, smack into the Usos, and even to the point where it just brings them down to a point where they have to humble themselves at some point. Like, oh, we thought that we had a hold on this shit. We don't have any hold on this shit. And then we have to play it on for Paul Heyman too. Paul Heyman will have to play this shit off too, because now it was like, did you know about this wise man?
I would even bring in Rikishi for this.
Oh yeah, you got to make it a family affair.
Family affair.
Rikishi.
The whole family got to be in there.
For The Rock.
He did it for The Rock.
I would change the name of the whole stable and call him the Relation of Domination.
The Relation of Domination.
How great would that be if The Rock came back and did that? That would be perfect.
But that's my little theory about how
I like
Rock
it.
Come back.
It's got legs, man. It's got legs. There's a lot of validity to that storyline.
It's like you're playing like for The Rock. You know, he had this thing with John Cena, like, oh, your little boy, this and that, this and that. Let's keep that same energy, but with Roman, like, y'all playing, y'all think y'all in charge. Y'all think y'all got it. How you think you got it? It's because of me. I'm the one who's pulling the strings. I'm
Yeah.
the one who, and then he has to jab at Jimmy, like, I'm the one who got paid your bail. And if you hear that, oh, just like how you think you got away with them tickets? He don't got just, all he had to say was tickets, and the crowd be like, oh shit.
And they say you don't see Jeff Hardy driving around here anymore, do you? Yeah, you bring reality into it. The only problem with this that I can see is that The Rock is not going to commit the time to make this angle work. He can't.
Yeah.
I mean, if he dedicated 6 months,
that's what it is. It's time. You got to give this time. You can't just steamroll into it.
If The Rock took 6 months off of making movies and TV and everything else that he does, and actually said, I'm going to commit 6 months to closing out my WWE legacy, it would be epic television.
Yes,
from
it
front
would.
to, because he would leave it all out there, and it would culminate in one final match. And unlike Ric Flair, it would be worth watching. And you would have. Sorry, dude.
We'll definitely talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. It's
no, we
so
don't talk about
ugly.
Ric Flair's last match. Oh, we on it now, so fuck it. Let's go.
Did anybody watch that? Like,
I did.
I watched it.
It was available for free on Fight TV. The undercard was great.
Yeah.
But the headline match, I mean, you know what? First of all, props to Jeff Jarrett. We're going way off topic here, but Jeff Jarrett can still go.
Yes.
Jeff Jarrett carried the man. But Ric Flair taking a back bump at his age, I was like, oh, he's going to die.
Quadruple heart bypass. Quadruple.
And he took it stiff.
Quadruple. Triple H had a triple, literally. Or is it double? I forgot what he had.
I was looking at Andrade be like, you better get your father-in-law out the ring right now.
He's the worst son-in-law ever. You talk that man out of that. Even Charlotte was like, I don't want my dad in there.
Yes.
Why
nobody wanted him.
Oh, whatever. I'm sorry. We're way off topic.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Get back to SummerSlam.
But yeah, I right now I with SummerSlam and Bobby Lashley being United States champion, I see them pushing the United States champion almost like they pushed the North American Championship to its highest, limit, right? With Bobby Lashley holding the title, right? And even with Ciampa going after it, and even the wrestlers that they had, this is one of the best I've seen so far in the last couple of months of AJ. Because I think his time is winding down. AJ Styles. I think his time is winding down too. Because surprisingly so, it's weird, but AJ has not gotten a title shot at Roman at all. Which when we're looking at the whole grand scale of things about who can Roman challenge, there's a lot of fucking wrestlers that Roman has not really got to.
And they had good matches when AJ was going after Roman.
Yeah, they did. Right, but it's almost like I don't understand. Like they're like, oh, who's left? There's a lot of wrestlers left. You just
you gotta remember that, and it's a slow running, but you gotta remember that Vince was still in control of this title picture.
Yeah.
So now that we're getting, a look at all these other titles, we're definitely going to start seeing other people being brought in. Look at the match that AJ Styles had in that triple threat.
Yeah,
that was an amazing. They're letting them do what they do best.
Let's talk about
these people are letting it hang all out in the ring, and that's what I like to see.
Dolph Ziggler, man. Oh.
Ziggler's there for the check, but he's a great. No. Ziggler is there making everybody around him better. He is one of the most unsung heroes in that company yesterday, today, and tomorrow, because he's going to be a lifer for sure. He's not jumping ship. He's going to stay in that company and make everyone around him better while still making his character better. There's nothing he does wrong. I think he is so underrated. It's ridiculous.
And I think him going against Theory, right, would make Theory a better wrestler, right? And I think with Theory, like Dolph Ziggler, even just wrestling theory, like just the sheer fact of seeing the elevation of Dolph Ziggler and how far you can go, right? Because it's one of those things where it's like you thought you were it, you ain't it yet. I'm gonna show you how to get there first, and then once you surpass me, you can possibly have a start stepping
So
stone.
almost like a weird where they're going to be enemies, but it's a mentor-mentee relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
I like this.
Mhm.
Al, you're on today, man. Your booking is strong today.
Because if you think about it, like when me and Az on the day we went back to back about theory, and I was like, no, this nigga ain't ready. This motherfucker
He's not ready. I'm not saying that he is ready.
No, but
he's,
the machine that was backing him, I was like, this is wrong.
Yeah, he was just being pushed.
And I'll say it again. I'm tired of Vince liking the brown hair, blue eye remakes of everybody. Because that's what he went for. Oh, Austin Theory reminds me of Cena. Brown hair, blue eyes.
He wants. Here's the thing. He wants a whole.
He wants carbon copies, and that's not what it's about.
He's looking for the next Hulk Hogan, and that's how it's always been.
Yes and no, though.
There's nobody Hulk Hogan.
I go with the Cena theory a little more than the Hulk Hogan thing because he's not a big guy. For years, WWE is the land of the giants, and the bigger guys always got over. I mean, this is a company that not that long ago pushed the Great Khali as an effective wrestler. Okay, let's be real. He's made a joke of him since then. But at some point, they wanted us to fear the Great Khali. He loved big men. Now he shifted away from that. To Vince's credit, Austin Theory's not a big dude. He's in good shape. He's a good-looking guy. He's got mic skills that are still being groomed.
But that's still the type that he likes, though. Either way, that's the type. Because even with the guys that were in NXT, they're similar to Austin Theory, and he didn't want to give them the push.
Where do we stand on Braun Breaker, though? Like, what's Braun Breaker's role going to be when he finally gets called up? Because you want a credible threat to Roman, he'd be one of them.
I think Braun Breaker should have been called up a while back ago.
Think he's ready? I don't think he's ready.
No. Not to fight Roman. Don't get me wrong. I think the problem is that when they let Braun Breaker win that title again, I think they should have just let Grimes win the title, have Braun Breaker come up, but have Braun Breaker start out as, rookie, whatever case may be, but have him and Austin really go at it. Show them, almost like who's going to get the push. Have Austin and Braun Breaker really go at it, because the problem is that Braun Breaker is coming big and strong. Vince had a pseudo sexualized fetish about being big and anything like that. I'm sorry, but he did. It was kind of really gay about it. Let's be real about it.
I know, but I hear sexualized fetish and Vince McMahon in this day, and all I'm thinking is nasty headlines.
Listen, if CM Punk called it out,
who cares?
Live.
Okay, CM Punk's great at commenting on things he doesn't know about. I love CM Punk, but let's be real. He's been so far removed from WWE. What the fuck does he know about?
Oh, I'm talking about when he was there, when he was just like, you and Vince had this pseudo fetish about, big, what was a big guy, what makes a wrestler now. You gotta look deeper into that. I'm like, man, Vince kind of does have this thing about what makes a wrestler, what he's in some regards, what's attractive.
Okay,
right?
Can we be real? Let's think about what Vince McMahon really was. Is the world's greatest carny. And he had a freak show that he put together. Rikishi was the fat guy that shoved his ass in your face, right? Then you had Great Khali, was taller and bigger than everybody else. He could barely lift his leg above the second row.
He had a chop.
But he was so big. Andre the Giant had acromegaly. That's a condition.
Yes.
And he exploited it. What's different than that than the bearded woman at the carnival? He created a freak show of characters. So to see him push Austin Theory was actually refreshing to me. It was too little too late for Vince, but he went against type for what he saw as a champion in his company. So maybe at the end he was starting to get it. Who knows? Maybe he was senile and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. But they strapped a rocket to that kid's ass. Now we got to pay it off by making him pay his dues and earn it.
Yeah, and I think that's what Triple H is all about, paying his dues.
I agree. I don't think they're sour on Theory. I think they're sour on how quickly he got escalated to that spot.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
think
and I'm
sure.
okay, and I'm okay with that too, because I think Triple H, like like we talked in the chat, like Triple H loves his girls and Triple H loves his people, and I mean his people, the people that were in NXT. Not saying Theory wasn't in NXT, not saying that Triple H doesn't like Theory, right? But when it comes to the overall, when it comes to Triple H and his people, who's his people? Seth, Kevin, Ciampa,
Sammy,
Naomi, Tamina, Sasha,
Sammy.
Becky, Sammy. Who else? Like even Ray's is one of his boys, but you have
No,
other
but
wrestlers.
Ray's on the way out. Like he
Yeah,
knows.
yeah.
That. He's
But
going
you
to
know what I
give
mean?
him a
Like
fitting goodbye.
his core people that he likes, right? I'm not saying he doesn't like Roman. He likes Roman. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
But
think
there's
he
also
likes Rollins better in that spot.
oh yes, but there's also that protection. I'm talking about that. Roman does have a small slither of protection, little bit, just a little bit, because of his family. Just
So
saying.
does Rollins though, because he's
Rollins don't
carried
have a
this.
family member, but he doesn't
No, it
have
doesn't
like.
matter about the family member. He's got a reputation backstage. He's a
Oh
team
yeah,
player,
yeah.
and he's a hell of a hand to have. I mean, think about it. He was the least interesting member of the Shield, right? And then when he made that turn on them, suddenly he had a character. All of a sudden, look what he's exploded into. Orange suits and walking
Wait,
out.
and
You
I
thought
love it.
Seth was the least interesting character of the Shield?
He definitely was.
I
Because
thought it was Roman. I thought it was
no,
Not Roman was the
he
most
didn't.
least interesting.
Dean Ambrose was crazy. Roman Reigns was big and powerful and a silent assassin. Then there was this guy who got tagged in last. And he had some moves, but he didn't really show his full arsenal until he was Seth Rollins, not the third member of the Shield. He's the one that benefited the most from the breakup of the Shield. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I like Seth Rollins now. I do like Seth Rollins, but I do feel like his trajectory has been halted too. And Vince kind of did this too, like with the whole Theory thing. Like, I think we wanted to see more Seth and Roman, right? Especially Seth now and Roman, because that the last time they wrestled, that angle that he did, where he came out as the Shield member, as the Shield
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Oh, I was
like,
there.
that was like what?
Okay.
It was a little hard to watch.
That was like, this is great. And then the
I didn't like it at all. Why are you calling back to something you tried to consciously bury?
because
to
he
get in his head.
because
I didn't like it.
Roman
Didn't
still
like it.
feels sour about it, and we never had, this is the thing too. Roman still feels sour about it, but we never had a Roman Dean Ambrose switch on each other. They never went like against each other, like in a way where they were like Seth and everybody else has. Right?
Mox won't be back until the Hall of Fame. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
not happening.
No,
he
no,
loves
it's
his
not.
freedom now. It's not.
No,
It's
yeah.
not happening.
No, he's not coming back at all. No.
No.
Miro, I can see what you said earlier. Miro, I can see.
Well, no, not with this 4-year contract in place and Tony Khan controlling it. No, he's not going anywhere. Honestly, give the guy a title shot. He'll be happy again. It was the worst debut in AEW history. Was him coming out as a video game loving nerd instead of him coming out as an absolute assassin.
What's his name called? The Reclaimer?
Yeah, something like that. But it was too little, too late. He came out wearing like a Mickey Mouse shirt, and he did not make a intimidating debut in AEW. We were thrilled to see him, and he had some good matches. But this video game loving nerd was not the angle to bring Miro in. Again, we're jumping off topic again, but let's get back to the Shield thing. I like that.
Yeah, with the Seth Rollins, I want to see more of that angle, right? Even the little thing towards what was it? SmackDown, right? When he beat up what's his fucking name? Bro, what's his name, bro? What's his fucking name?
Oh,
Riddle.
When Roman they beat up Riddle, right? And then Seth was like, came out. He's like, bye, and then this and that. I'm just like, okay, are we playing an angle for Rollins and Roman again? Because I want to see that more. I want to see Seth Rollins the way he is now versus Roman way more than any other person in WWE right now. I don't like even more. I want to see Drew versus Roman. I want to see Seth Rollins the way he is now versus Roman Reigns because, first of all, it's heel on heel, right? It's heel on heel, right? Rollins gets a big pop when his song hits. Whoa! He gets the biggest pop. The thing is, I want him to like really play up more, play up more, and not let's just drop it after one event, right?
No. That's a 6-month storyline,
Yes,
culminating at WrestleMania.
right. But the
Start
problem
it
is,
now. Start it
Yeah.
now.
thank you. Start it now. But the problem is, they dropped it as soon as after that event, and I was like, that's it.
All right, but
That's
Rollins' thing lately is that he can't find a match.
He can't find a match, and he does want the title too.
I think
So-
this would be the perfect guy because Randy's on the shelf for another 6 months.
He's
out.
not coming back until Royal Rumble.
How I would book that would be Rollins goes after Reigns right after the match with Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle. Then you
hold on.
have
I
them
think that
run
match
this
is gonna be
promo.
I think that match is going to be a triple threat now
Is it?
Why?
because Karrion's getting added to it.
No,
no.
Definitely not.
Now, I'll be honest with you. Karrion Kross had no business injecting himself into that feud.
Yeah,
And
definitely
I think
not.
the only reason for that even being there is because Drew McIntyre doesn't belong in the main event scene.
He doesn't.
Nothing
Not right
against him.
now.
Nobody's buying him as the champion.
Not anymore.
He's not going to be the guy to
They lost that after COVID. They lost that. They should have picked it up at that WrestleMania. They did nothing with it.
I like Drew McIntyre, but let's be real. He was in a boy band not that long ago. Like I'm just not
It's been 10
feeling
years
him.
now. It's been like what 10 years now.
But the scars remain.
They did it, but they didn't give him. They needed to put the strap back on him at that WrestleMania.
Nobody bought it though.
No one did because at that point he already had lost it. Nobody cared about it.
I don't think he's that interesting a character. He's a likable guy. He was great with the kid in the front row at SummerSlam. It was a weird place to have a promo, but they did it. I think they all like Drew McIntyre, but if you're telling me that the WWE is going to be a better place for having him as champion instead of Roman Reigns, you're lying.
Well, I hear some rumblings. From what I understand, one of the things I've heard from around the wrestling community is that being that Karrion, they're going to break the titles up.
They should.
So what it is that Karrion's going to. So from what I understand, Karrion's going to try to challenge Roman for one of the titles.
That doesn't make sense.
That's what I heard. That's rumored.
What would be the reason for breaking them up? The whole idea of, in my opinion, the world champion.
Two titles to one title.
I'm going to show my age here. Let me show my age for a minute, and then I'll shut up because I'm talking a lot. But back in the day when you wanted to talk territories, Ric Flair was the NWA champion and would literally go town to town across the country and defend the NWA championship because it was a universal thing. It was understood that was the belt you wanted, and anybody in any town could challenge me.
Yeah.
In the WWE universe, theoretically, the world champion should be able to defend it anywhere. And in my opinion, whoever holds that belt should appear on every show, including NXT, if somebody's good enough down there. I don't see the point in having separate belts. They unified them, but they're still holding two belts. Have one belt. Universal is literally the name of the belt, right? I would go that route, and I would say that everybody's has the right to challenge.
Yes. So at this point, let me get back to my booking. So you book.
Sorry.
So you book Seth Rollins, right? And you book Seth Rollins to go over. They have this long drag out storyline until Rollins can actually get the titles from him. But now you have Cody back in the picture. Yes, you're not gonna like that. I know he wasn't gonna like that, but they're gonna put the title. They're gonna put the titles on Cody when he gets back. For sure, he's gonna get some type of opportunity. So if you continue, because Seth Rollins wasn't done with that story, He attacked
Nope.
him again right before he decided that he was going to say, "Hey, I'm out. I'll be back when I'm healed up." So they're going to continue that. So it would be that obviously Cody's going to get his revenge for the attack right before he left. They're going to start their storyline. And then you have that WrestleMania rematch. And that's when Cody's like, I can still beat you. I beat you every single time. And I have you the final time. Now I got the belts. At that point, you make the singular championship. And then obviously he wants to go towards having the Winged Eagle championship. So you get a new rendition of that title. And that's the title that's fought throughout the entire company.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's how you get rid of the two championships and you have one sole champion.
Hey, Al, can you throw in that slow clap gif? Morgan Freeman standing up.
Yeah.
I am in awe of your power. You disappeared for about 5 minutes there. I got nervous, but I realized what you were doing now, and that was fueling up this argument. I bow to greater wisdom. That was beautifully done, sir.
Even with Brad, who dislikes Cody, he's clapping for that.
I don't dislike Cody. I'm hurt by Cody. It's like show me on the doll where Cody hurt you. I'm very upset because I feel like Cody was 90% of the way there with AEW and to turning it into what he really wanted it to be. And then out of nowhere, some people presented a counter argument and he took his ball and went home. And I feel like had he stuck it out, he would have been prouder of what he did there. They would have eventually had their WrestleMania. Yes, they were booing him in AEW. They were treating him like dog shit, but he didn't realize it was because of the character he was portraying. It wasn't because of him. And so he went back and he got his WrestleMania love and he got all that. And I'm happy for him. I really am. But I think he left something behind that he wasn't done with. And I don't want to see him jumping ship every time somebody presents a challenge to him. And that's what upset me because we all believe in AEW on this show. We want it to succeed. I want them to have their WrestleMania. And I think over time, if they stick to the plan and Tony Khan spends his money smartly and stays out of the booking picture, it could have been that way. But he got scared and he ran home. And that pisses me off. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No. That
I'm apologizing.
That makes
what I do.
Perfect sense. Now, I do say that, if Roman is still champion by the time Royal Rumble comes around, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case.
That's happening, yeah.
He should put that on the line and win Royal Rumble. Because he's won Royal Rumble already.
Oh.
But I feel like he should do a Brock Lesnar thing just to, get that jab at him. Because he even said it. He was like, I'm better than him. It sucks that he's gone, but you know what? I'm the reason he's gone. So if he goes and he does what Heyman did at with 2020 Royal Rumble? No, was it 2020 Royal? Yeah, 2020 Royal Rumble when he was like Brock is gonna be in the Royal Rumble, but he didn't have the title on the line.
I love that idea, but it is very, very tricky because Royal Rumble is a thing like one slip up, one fuck up can ruin anything. If Roman Reigns go over the top rope and slips one time, that is basically going to be a fucked up situation. That's the only issue that I have. Like
he better go through the middle rope then.
We'll have Michael Cole's greatness on the microphone, Oh my God, we're gonna have a new champion.
Go Pat, go Pat, go Pat, go Pat. I thought he was voguing.
Hey, listen, Michael Cole's done his best work as an announcer in the last 12 months.
Yes,
he has been phenomenal.
Agreed.
Phenomenal.
Agreed.
Literally, I thought Michael Cole was voguing over there for Pat McAfee. That's how bad. Go Pat, go Pat, go Pat, go
No,
Pat.
I love the idea of Roman defeating all 29 other men to win the Rumble with the championship on the line. But it's a tricky situation because one slip up can fuck up something.
All right, I wouldn't stage it that way though. I wouldn't stage it. Go ahead.
You
One
I'm
have
sorry.
person
him.
at a
You have him
time.
just completely ignore the match.
Oh.
He comes in, he dominates for a little bit, and then he's like, you know what?
Have him sit in
I'm
the
good.
corner where he
Yeah,
can't get
and he could just
eliminated.
sit down.
That's true.
Someone
Yeah.
tries to drag him in. He has this crazy fight, beats them up, eliminates that person, goes and sits
And
back
he sits
down.
on the outside. Have him sit at the announce table. Like
Yeah.
cocky as all hell.
Yep.
Nothing telling him he
That's
can't.
exactly
right?
how you do that. And then
But
he
I wouldn't
steps
book
in
him
at
that
the end,
early, though. I wouldn't
eliminates
book him.
like the last 2-3 people in one shot. And he's like, all right.
Nah, I wouldn't book him
Done.
that way because that makes him look weak and like a coward. I think if you want him to look strong, you don't book him coming in at number 1 and make it look like it's staged. I'd have him come in at like number 6 to 8, somewhere in there, and then have him dominate early and then keep him in the middle of the ring so it's never plausible that he could get thrown out. And then everybody fights on the fringes, and then at the end he just starts eliminating people again, and you set up that big final battle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, number 1 was for Brock. Number 1 was just too OP because he just kept eliminating people one by one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see a repeat of that. I would rather see him come like midway in the match. You know, like he
doesn't Roman have the most
even puts his
eliminations
number out
though?
there. He's like, I'm coming in number 10.
Doesn't
So-
Roman have the most eliminations in a Royal
More than
Rumble?
Kane? I thought Kane
I
had
think
it.
Brock beat.
Kane still has it.
It does it?
Yeah,
Wait.
13.
Okay, so Roman's what? Second after that?
Yeah, it's 12.
Okay.
And then Brock, I think, eliminated about
11, right?
11 in that last
Yeah.
match. 11 or 12.
So they're tied. Okay.
Unless it was more.
Hmm.
But I know I was looking that up not too long ago.
All right, real quick recap. How did everybody feel about Raw? Now that Triple H did that Raw and the SmackDown.
I liked it. The matches were great. The triple threat matches were amazing. Ciampa and AJ were great. And even though I was nervous about Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, I'm like, oh, who's going to go over in that match? I'm okay with the DQ finish. I'm okay with that because neither one should have a loss right now. But yeah, I was fine. I gave this Raw I'll give it a solid B+.
Okay. Brad, your brother is messaging you right now.
Oh, Brock and Braun
In the comments.
are tied for 13.
All right, who is I Am Mighty?
Cedric.
Cedric, get a better name.
What's
Yeah, Brock and Braun are tied at 13. Roman is 12. Kane is 11. So originally the highest was Kane, and then Roman Reigns took that over, and then Braun took that over. But I think that was the greatest Royal Rumble because they had like 50 people. Yeah. So if we're talking regular Royal Rumble, the most eliminations is Brock right now with 13.
Okay.
From 2020.
All right. So like give us your on Raw and SmackDown this week.
Ooh, can I say
you didn't
something?
watch SmackDown, right?
Can I say something about SmackDown real quick?
Go ahead.
How do I feel about what happened with Liv?
Good question. How do we all feel about what happened to Liv? First of all, yay, a Jersey girl won the title, but
No, because his
how about the fall guy?
Cedric, you just won back my respect. Thank you.
because the crowd turned on Liv.
Yeah, they did.
The crowd turned on Liv.
I think the crowd turning on Liv shows that's carryover audience from the Vince era. And yeah, I'll call it that. They're fickle. Do you know what it is? She was never a great wrestler. And, you know, after the feel good of her winning the championship came over, now we realize that just how unbelievable she is against a Ronda Rousey. She almost has to be a heel that cheats to win.
But that's a lot of wrestlers compared to Ronda. Come on.
Ronda's not a great wrestler, dude. She's a fighter.
She's a fighter. But then when you compare that to everybody else, like
put Charlotte in the ring with her, and Charlotte can out wrestle her. Bayley can out wrestle her. Sasha can out wrestle her. Liv cannot. And I think the crowd was like, "Oh crap, I'm not buying this." So you know what? If the crowd is turning on her, and I'm Triple H, I'm going with it, and I'm creating this ridiculous swell of heel energy, and letting her have it, and let her be the best heel champion.
Here's what I think is going to happen, and this is going to lead to WrestleMania. Shayna is going to win at Clash of the Castle. I think Shayna's taking the title.
Definitely.
So
It's too long coming. Like this should have been done. And I'm gonna say this with so much power, so you might want to come me. Fucking years ago.
yep, Shayna's going to win the title at Clash of the Castle. Have her be this dominant champion like she was at NXT. And
I was so mad that they dropped the ball on Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Well, Vince, Kevin Dunn. Keep
All
going.
right, so Shayna Baszler is a great choice, but what does that do for Liv's heat moving forward? I don't mean heat like heel heat, just like her reaction. Period. Is this going to completely nullify her as a threat to anybody?
That's the problem I have.
She's
right
a
now.
transitional champion. We know that. We know she's keeping the belt warm for somebody else.
I hate
But
that.
you got to give her a little time with it to build her character to something else.
So you saying that she loses it at Survivor Series?
I think she loses it too soon, and this is why I'm going to push. If they're going to really push a women's division, there needs to be a women's Intercontinental Championship.
Oh,
Because
God.
she would be ideal for some type of mid-level title. She's not my heavyweight championship or whatever they're calling it. She's not my top champion. It was a great feel-good moment. I'm glad they did it. But to me, she's not the one to carry the title. She doesn't have enough of a unique personality to stand out. Shayna Baszler does. Ronda Rousey does. Bayley does. So that's where I'm at with that.
So let me ask you this question. Would you say Io Shirai or Io Sky does?
Absolutely. 100%.
I think
Would you say
Io
the same thing about Dakota?
Going to be the match.
Dakota Kai not as much, but she's a hell of an in-ring hand. I think her in-ring work would speak for what she's lacking in a unique personality.
Okay, well let me. All right, I'm shooting at the hip right now. So with Liv, I'm gonna. And I guess what would you say the same thing about Raquel?
No. I don't think she's that great of a performer. I'm sorry. We discussed this the last time. I'm not feeling her. I'm just not. But that's one man's opinion.
They didn't make her. Here's the thing: they didn't make her important enough they moved her over to the main roster.
They didn't.
What do you need in a heavyweight champion or a top champion in any wrestling company? Is a larger than life personality, somebody that carries the company's name on your shoulders. Liv Morgan is not that person, and neither is Raquel.
What about Shotzi?
I like Shotzi.
No. I like her, but no.
I like Shotzi.
I would not put the title
So
on her.
would you put Shotzi and Liv Morgan in the same category?
Well, Shotzi's a better wrestler.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now that's
Liv is not. She's a spot monkey. She just doesn't do much. She does things that are scripted. She does things that are orchestrated, and she does them well. But I'm not buying her as a tough person, and I'm sorry. And it's kind of the same thing I have with Alexa Bliss. I love the Alexa Bliss character, but when she gets in the ring at 5'0" and goes up against somebody of real stature, it's kind of hard to buy her winning without cheating, and that's how she made most of her bones. I think Liv does her spots well. I don't think she's a great storyteller in the ring.
Yeah. And Alexa wants that back. She's upset that she's still walking around with that doll.
Yeah, that makes no sense at this point unless they're going to bring Bray back, which might happen, but not anytime soon.
If they do, but I wouldn't even bother with that at all.
Hold on, before we even get to that, because I'm gonna have a whole segment about Triple H and Stephanie being in charge now, because that's gonna be our last segment that we talk about.
Really?
Yeah.
I got 7 more hours of material here.
No, not right yet. We're gonna get there. No, it's gonna be the last segment we talk about that we get there. But so, all right. I don't know. Like, maybe it's the Jersey in me. Maybe I'm just happy to see that a Jersey girl won, but then AJ Lee won, so I'm okay with AJ Lee. You know, I'm just happy that she got the title, right? But when I see what you're talking about when it comes to like an in-ring performer and wrestler and stuff like that. Like to go against Ronda, it's tough. It's tough because she's not built to go against Ronda, and I'll even take it a step further. In some regards, she's not really built to wrestle Becky or Charlotte or Sasha because they're built on a different. They're built different. They really are all, and or even Bailey or Io. They're all built different. Like let's do Oscar. Let's take Oscar for something.
Oh,
Can I see Oscar versus Ronda? Hell
yes,
yeah. Hell
absolutely.
yeah. Hell yeah, without a doubt. Can I see, and we've seen it plenty of times. Oscar versus Shayna. Yes, and they're probably like one of the like pound for pound best matches I've seen with them too. And their reversals, getting out of traps every single time. Great. They're built different from Liv, I'll even throw Natty in there.
Natty's a tremendous wrestler. What are you talking
right.
about?
They're built different, right? Liv is not built like them.
I think it comes down to this. I know where you're going, Alan. Let me cut you off only once.
Yeah, good.
Until the next time.
Okay.
But I think when you look at them right now, if you were somebody like Triple H and you were booking matches, you need one person in that match to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to carry somebody. Oscar
Right.
can carry a paper bag and make a good match out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte can do that. Okay. Can you imagine Liv Morgan calling the spots in the ring and saying, okay, you do this, and giving a believable, viable match? The last time we talked, I believe Liv had just won. And we were all thrilled to see something different happening. I was thrilled to see Liv Morgan win.
Yeah.
I just don't buy her as that threat, that unbelievably powerful person. Even AJ, who you mentioned, AJ was sneaky as hell.
Yep.
And that was how she won her matches. She was sneaky and she distracted you. That was a great character buildup. And it was a lot like her husband, CM Punk.
So it's because
Let him finish. Are you undone yet? Let him finish. Go ahead, Brad.
I'm just saying. I think that's where the fault is. She gave us a really good feel-good moment, but I need Liv Morgan to build that aura of something more threatening.
Yeah.
Before right now we knew she was a transitional champ. I already said this, but like, what is she transitioning to? Shayna Baszler is a great answer. I would love to see that. I think women's wrestling is about to enter a tremendous boom period, and I am thrilled for it because all companies are going to be better for it. All of them.
Yeah. Even Tony Khan is setting up an all women's event for AEW. So
which WWE did, and they fucking dropped the ball with that one.
Well, they didn't televise it.
Me and Clinton were there. The Evolution.
How was
that?
it?
That was an amazing event.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball on that one for not doing more with it.
It should have been Raw. It should have been all of women. It should have been available to the world.
Yeah.
Not by pay-per-view.
They and one of the top stars out of that was Toni Storm.
Yeah.
One of the top stars of that was Toni Storm. She won.
Classic with Io.
Yeah. Yeah. She and to see her now where in AEW where she has a little bit more freedom and not feel like subjugated in some way. Yeah. Like I'm happy where she's at. But WWE was the one who started that the women's pay-per-view. You did one. Continue to do it. Why stop there? And not for nothing, I understand it's her father's company, but I think Stephanie really should have just pushed more for it as much as she could have. And not for nothing, if it wasn't for Stephanie and Triple H pushing for it, I think it wouldn't have happened. But I mean, with the thing that was going on with Triple H and Stephanie got to take care of her husband and her kids, I mean, the fact about it is, like, I think both Stephanie and Triple H should have pushed more for that, and we should have more of that Evolution too.
I'm
evolution
sure
period.
she did. And I'm pretty sure it came down to, life and the fact that she was dealing with being more of an ambassador for the company than anything else.
Right, because she
So
was 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
she
Yeah,
definitely pushed for that, I'm saying Triple H definitely pushed for that. But at the end of the day, when Trips was gone and he was gone for a bit, and he was sick, now you have Stephanie worrying about being an ambassador for the company, which that's probably the only thing that she can do, versus taking care of her husband at home.
yeah,
So she
and the
had to
three
deal
daughters
with that life, her personal life, and then still trying to be part of the company. So at least
and
she was
three
doing
kids
ambassador stuff. You know what I
and
mean?
three kids.
Yeah,
You know,
but that's what I'm saying. Family and work, and then the work
Pe-
life was mainly just being an ambassador and trying to get people to feed into the company and invest
but
in the company.
she also wind up in not for nothing. It's not very like she's not didn't leave, but she was literally kind of like 1 foot out, 1 foot out, one foot in, 1 foot out, because she became part of the ambassador of the FaZe clan or the FaZe organization. They're esports company, but they do a little bit more than that, right?
Gentlemen, can I interrupt you for a minute? My daughter,
Yes.
my daughter is here not only to deliver me a beer, but to tell you her favorite women's wrestler. Who is it? Say it right into the microphone.
Becky Lynch.
Okay,
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, and you said Charlotte Flair wrong. Wave goodbye. You're on live internet right now.
I love these moments.
I was like, oh god, that was great.
Hugest Becky Lynch fan I know. She's got the dolls. We're getting pop figures, you name it. She's a huge Becky Lynch fan. And what I love about it is it's not just that she loves Becky Lynch, the man. She's loved every iteration of that character.
Mhm.
And so I'm appreciating that because Becky Lynch really is a good character.
Yeah.
for sure.
And speaking of Becky, she popped her shoulder out. Ooh, child.
And still continue the match.
That's
tough.
a soldier. That's a soldier.
She's tough.
That's a wrestler.
I have a funny feeling that she's winning the Rumble. She's gonna win the Rumble.
Do you think she'll be out?
Has she ever won a Rumble? Has she ever won one?
She won the one in 2019.
Okay, that's right. Honestly, I don't think she's winning.
I don't either.
I think Bailey's winning. I think it's gonna be down to her and Bailey.
I think Bailey's going to have to go against the other two members of her faction to make that meaningful.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to break them up too much.
That's a long ways away, dude.
I know it's a long ways away, but I think the two people of her faction are going to have problems with Io and Charlotte. Because not for nothing, who's Bailey's? Remember, they're the 4 horsewomen, right? Sasha's coming back. Sasha ain't coming back alone though. So when I'm going up against Bailey, who's back, who's supposedly my best friend, and she has a new faction with her, Charlotte's going to be coming back. Okay, take these motherfuckers out. I'm winning the Royal Rumble.
Who do you think? So I know Sasha and Naomi will be back soon, but who would be the third person? Would Bianca be the third person, or would you bring somebody else up?
Bring somebody else up. I think it's time for. I'm not. Mandy.
I think Toxic Attraction is going up to SmackDown. I already think that's going to happen.
Do you think so? I'd rather bring Mandy up. I honestly, I'd rather bring Mandy up. Mandy has made a killing on NXT.
Do you think she got what she needed going back down to NXT?
Yeah,
I feel like she's
absolutely.
Okay.
One, complete character change. 2, she's not relying on, and not saying that she did, but the makeup of the main roster was you got to be a blonde. That's gone. It's gone. Okay. She is a heel. She's one of the top heels of NXT, right? Not even just being character. She has a group with her, right? So she built her character. Her character is solid, flat out solid. If there's anybody to bring back up, would be Mandy, and she's still NXT champion. anybody to bring her back up, just bring Mandy up at this point. Don't give her don't put her with what's that sexy chubby fucker?
Otis.
There you go. God, he's hot. Sorry, Brad.
But the thing is that what's great is if Mandy goes for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion and she wins, it's legitimate now. It's legitimate now. So Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction going up to SmackDown, that's going to bring up another tag team that could go for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up Mandy Rose, who can really go for the SmackDown or Raw Women's Championship.
Right. They need new blood, so why not? Yeah, I agree. Bring Mandy up. Bring Mandy would be so good. Like if they bring Mandy up and bring her faction up, now we have women, multiple women that can go for not only Mandy can, Mandy can still hold the NXT title and still be on main shows. Let's just make that clear. But her two members can now go for the titles, actually giving some more talent to those women tag team championships.
And by the way, a great opportunity to put NXT talent in front of a mainstream WWE audience, because while she's holding the belt up on SmackDown or Raw, they have to come up and go get it.
Kevin Owens did it.
Yep. By the way, time out. Are you guys getting an echo or is it just me?
I'm getting an echo.
It's probably me because of my air conditioner.
I might have to leave and come back because I don't want to ruin the show based on my.
I don't have an echo. No, Brad, it's probably me. Do you hear like a? Zzz?
I'm hearing me a second later.
No, you're good on my end.
I used to have an echo, but now I don't have an echo anymore.
Okay. All right. I'll lean in.
All right. So. Look at the nose. It's all fixed up.
Oh, dude. I need a second screen just for this nose. It's ridiculous. Do you know how many cocaine parties I got invited to back in the day?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Was Ric Flair there?
Woo!
How many women did he have around him? Anyway, was he naked in a robe?
He had more than the current WWE roster.
Which is
I love this idea, and I love the idea of doing some crossover stuff. If you have the NXT title and you want to go to the next level, have the people from NXT say, "Hey, you know what? While you're up here, I'm going to take that and do that match on SmackDown."
If Kevin Owens did it, defeated John Cena with the NXT title and took the United States title, like if Kevin Owens could do it, why can't anybody else do it? And mind you, let's not repeat the same thing, but
you could bring up Braun now. Braun can go up.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Like, not for them. Do it.
Yeah.
I would put Braun up against Lashley.
That's what. Yes.
Brock Steiner, by the way. Brock Steiner.
Brock Steiner.
Oh yeah. Let's give him his
We're
last
name. Change some damn names. Let's change back to his actual name.
Brock Steiner. Give him his last damn name. Brock Steiner. If Dominic Mysterio can have his last name, but give it to Brock Steiner. Like, fuck out of here.
It's raining.
Just saying. He inducted his father and his brother. So now we don't know who the fuck he is. Like come on. Like let's make it make sense. And I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure you could tell. He sounds just like them too.
Yes,
he does. Dad. He does sound like his dad.
Big Papa Pump, man.
He talks just like him. I'm like, oh no.
I got some throwback
I'm the
energy.
Big Booty Daddy.
Oh.
Big Booty Daddy.
Holla if you hear me. Oh, if he whips that out, forget it.
Oh.
The crowd will pop huge.
If he does a mathematics promo, it's gonna be over.
He does this.
If Roman Reigns had 900 days as champion, you divide it by.
Oh, dude, his TNA work was epic for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Here you go talk," and he's like, "Okay, let me get my calculus book."
Before we get to the last one, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Ring of Honor, because we haven't been online for a while. So How happy are we that Claudio got the Ring of Honor championship?
Not as happy.
Brad,
Not
were
so
you
happy.
were you clipping nipples or what? I don't know.
No, I definitely wasn't doing that. It's not Saturday.
I think this was not a good decision.
I know why they did it though. Go ahead.
Explain.
I'm sorry. No, I cut in.
No. We want you to explain.
I think honestly, he wants to add validity to Ring of Honor, so he got the biggest pop of the last couple of weeks. Somebody that had performed at Ring of Honor, and that's great. But in my opinion, it should have been somebody who was only known for Ring of Honor beating Claudio, because he still has Blackpool Combat Club. I don't want him defending that title on AEW TV. I want him defending it on Ring of Honor. And I don't think he's going to be available for that if you're going to continue to make Blackpool Combat Club a viable thing. To me, it was an easy decision that wasn't the best decision. I love that man, and I think they gave him his moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turns over that belt very quickly. Because you need to build new talent down there. And I say down there. It's not down there. It's over there.
It's over there. Right.
Ring of Honor is a different breed than television wrestling. It was always for the true fans of wrestling, the wrestling enthusiasts in America. I would like to see them build up to the point where it's a parallel brand. I don't want this to be the NXT developmental of AEW. I think Ring of Honor needs to be its own thing.
So here's my issue now with Claudio as ROH champion. You're building up Claudio right now as a legitimate, solid wrestler. Somebody's going to have to beat him to take that title off. So now Claudio's going to have to take a loss.
It's fine.
But
why is that a bad thing?
No, but to who? That's the issue. Because the fact of the matter is that you have Claudio in the Blackpool Combat Club. You have Wheeler Yuta now. You have Bryan Danielson. You have Jon Moxley. He just signed it a month ago. Who would you have beat Claudio?
I would have had him lose, because the best guy they had there is now out, and that's Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gresham.
He left, right?
He had an argument with Tony Khan. He's out the door.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Gresham is a tremendous wrestler.
I thought Jonathan
tremendous. I think he should have won. I think Claudio could have looked great in there. Him being in there, period, legitimized Ring of Honor. He didn't have to win.
Yep.
Jonathan Gresham going over Claudio legitimizes the brand.
And you know how I feel black wrestlers.
But the thing is that the match,
black, white, whatever. I think Jonathan Gresham's an unbelievable wrestler.
Oh yeah, he's great, and I think
having a black champion is icing on the cake. But honestly, Ring of Honor had to do something different. The guy's 5'4". The biggest challenge he's facing right now is his height. And he's fought against this his whole career. And if you have him beat Claudio doesn't lose an ounce of power because of that debut he made a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier. I think right now they dropped the ball. They wanted to give Claudio his Ring of Honor moment because he never held that title. But that was a bad decision because you lost Jonathan Gresham now. And he's a tremendous hand. I love that guy. Love that guy.
And then you had the excellent match between the Briscoes and FTR.
Oh yeah.
Now
I called him Daddy and Cub, but yes.
What's great about this year of wrestling is that there are a lot of contentions in terms of match of the year. There's a lot.
The Briscoes and FTR have unbelievable chemistry together.
Absolutely.
They all love wrestling for wrestling. They love tag team wrestling for when it was a thing. You know, and I'm showing my age again, but to me, the Hart Foundation was the tag team because they played off each other's strengths. They knew when to tag in, when to tag out. It wasn't just, hey, there's two people we don't know what to do with. Let's make them a tag team. I loved when tag teams had names and identities. And I feel like FTR and the Briscoes is a throwback in all the best ways. The Briscoes, I think, though, should dominate Ring of Honor. FTR should stay where they are.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I overwhelming enthusiasm from the crowd here.
No, it's I would love. I mean, the Briscoes definitely should stay in ROH, and they'll take the titles eventually from FTR. it's just that match was just incredible.
I've never seen 4 people so in tune with each other in the ring in terms of performing and selling. The amount of selling that was going on both ends. FTR wasn't sitting there. They weren't conceding anything. Both of them looked like they were hurt. And it was just a love of the game. And it really was a throwback to better times. I love there were no egos in the match. Either team could have won, and nobody would have been worse off for it. And I think that's what a top-level pay-per-view match should be. The winner won, the loser lost, but nobody lost ground. We're too smart now as wrestling fans, where we have the internet and we know backstage goings on and dirt sheets and all that. I almost feel like it's taking the magic out of it because we know what we want. We do fantasy booking. We did it earlier tonight. I feel like we need to get back to the fact where it was just enjoying what's in front of us. And FTR and the Briscoes was a celebration of everything that's good about tag team wrestling.
Agreed.
Yeah, I enjoyed the wrestling match. I was just like ooh and ah over that whole shit. At one point, I was like, God damn, this shit is so good. Like, I really thought the Briscoes had it. Like, I was like, this is amazing. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like,
yeah.
When do you put FTR in for the AEW Tag Championships?
Well, first of all, I love Keith and Swerve right now. They're just on a skyrocket. And you just don't want to stop
taking those titles.
Huh?
The Acclaim is taking those titles away from Swerve and Lee.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have the Acclaim. Yep.
I like the Acclaim, so that's why I'm like, yeah, you see them?
It's time.
So they're going to go from the Gun Club to the championship? That seems like a hell of a jump to go from dark. That's what it is, right? Go from AEW dark to the champion. I mean, stranger things.
The Acclaimed are on live TV every week. They rarely miss.
They're on because of Max Caster, though, not because of their tag team work.
Oh yeah, and Max Caster is a star.
Oh, agreed.
So, and Max Caster can do a lot of dissension with Lee and also with Swerve because he's good on the mic.
He dropped that Vince McMahon shit on. I was like, oof.
Low hanging fruit. I've said this 1,000 times. I would love it when AEW stops acknowledging the competition and just does their own thing. Well, I don't want to see them do that. I mean, it was an easy line. It was a funny line. I laughed. But now it's like you're punching up again. You're still second place and you're punching up. In my opinion, just ignore it and do your own thing. Worry about what's in front of you. That to me is better storytelling.
Triple H is going to make them work for it now too.
Oh yeah.
We finally got what we're looking. Well, not 100% yet, but we're definitely working towards getting what we're looking for as fans with WWE.
Well, and the thing is that we win because we have WWE hopefully getting better, and AEW is still going to be consistent. We win as fans.
Because
competition breeds excellence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there hasn't been competition. AEW made the mistake of coming in and saying, we're going to have the Wednesday night wars. There were no wars. Let's be real. You were fighting against NXT, their developmental brand. That is not a war.
But NXT was something that everyone was watching at the time.
Yeah,
but it's still not a war. And I think they made the mistake of position. The WCW, WWE wars happened because it was organic. It happened on its own. As fans, we sat there on either 2 different TVs or picture-in-picture or whatever technology we had at the time to make sure we were watching both shows. That happened organically.
You peeped on Raw that they did the picture-in-picture this week?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing. I was like, they're doing that's the thing because not for nothing, some of these commercials are way too fucking long.
Agreed.
Way too fucking long to get back and to jump back into a fucking story on Raw or SmackDown. It's just like,
all right, but you don't want to pay for Raw, do you? Then let the commercials happen. That's what it costs now. That's what it costs.
I don't pay for Raw.
Well,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Well, you're admitting on the internet that you're stealing something.
No, I didn't say steal. I just said I don't pay for it. That's all I said. I said I don't pay for it.
All right, smooth guy.
You said steal.
But you know what I mean. I think it's important that we let this happen organically. Originally, when Cody was the mouthpiece, I'm going to say something positive about Cody right now. When Cody was the mouthpiece of AEW, he said, we're not trying to get into a competition. We're trying to be an alternative. And that was the best way to play it. Let it grow on its own. And then Tony Khan took over. And now Tony Khan was always behind it. But when he decided to become a character and a part of it, and, going out after the camera shut off and talking to the crowd every week, everybody knows that Tony Khan is now in charge. I think that's why Cody left. In fact, I know that's why Cody left. Tony Khan's a pain in the ass. He's also a billionaire who controls your fate. I just wish that Tony Khan would step back and stop trying to fight WWE. You're not in the same league yet. You're not even close. What you have done is created the best alternative since WCW 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. And just be happy with that and let this thing grow. And eventually you'll have your own WrestleMania. And that's what I wanted. That's all.
We also have not seen MJF in over a month now, or 2 months now.
Speculation is they're going to release him from his contract early, and he's signing with WWE. That's speculation.
That's always been speculation, but
I think they worked themselves into a shoot.
They did.
For this long, though?
Yeah, no, because I think what's happening now is the reaction to that built up an ego that was already too inflated. MJF's good. He's real good.
Mm-hmm.
But in WWE, even now, he's going to get lost in the shuffle.
Especially with Triple H and Stephanie in charge, yeah.
And also with the talent that he has to go up against. He's going to be a mid-card guy. He's not a top title threat. He's going to be an Intercontinental Championship guy at best. They'll build him all they want. But ultimately, MJF will have his initial push, and then he's going to get pushed to the background. Cody, the best thing he could have done is tear his pec, because now we've created mystique around him longer. But had Cody stayed healthy, he probably would have been pushed back to a mid-card title at this point.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately timing is working out. MJF, he wants the big stage. He wants his WrestleMania moment. He's going to get it. But frankly, the smartest thing he can do is be the face of AEW.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely needs to be. All right. So, how we feel about Swerve and Keith Lee winning the tag team titles? Because we didn't even talk about that. That was a wild.
I am in their glory.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Yeah. I love them. I love the two of them. I hate the name, but I love the two of them together.
You see them sticking around together for a long time?
No.
Damn. Damn.
I don't understand. Why did they tease all that friction early? Was that just a swerve? Literally a swerve?
Yeah, that's just a swerve.
I thought it was weird that they put them together and then we're teasing splitting them, then they're okay again. Like, I like the idea of two big egos going against each other and having them be the best tag team despite hating each other. That would have made a very unique.
It's great because you have that heel ego and you have that face ego, and they're just like, like, I'm better than you and I can tell you to sit down. I'm bigger than you. I can tell you to sit down. The other one's like, hell no, I can do everything that you could do. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, let's face it, we all work with people we don't like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you have to work together. I almost feel like if they build the storyline around the fact that they're two guys who don't like each other, genuinely don't like each other, but they have to work together, and yet when they work together, it's magic. Yeah. That would be really fun, because what's more relatable than that?
Just like we had Rock and Mick Foley, the Rock and South Connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they work very well together, but The Rock was like, why? Why are you putting me with him?
All right.
I mean, I think they actually liked each other. I just think it was that situation where one's a big goof and The Rock wasn't having it.
Yeah.
Now, I think these two,
works.
They're peers, they're equals, and they look at each other and they just don't like each other. They're just clashing. And yet when they get in the ring, it's magic. That could be a fun storyline, and it's long term.
Normally those things are fun. Look at Team Hell No.
That's a good example. That's a really good example.
Daniel
Kane,
Bryan
And then they had the angles
Kane.
with them going to therapy with each other.
Well, that
Like-
was dumb, but
Like, but they built that team,
Yeah. So how y'all feel? I've have as much as I like Dean Ambrose, I have problems with the AEW Championship because when CM Punk does initially come back,
That's gonna be a
what
match.
what do you do with that? Because
you get Punk the
my
title
thing is-
back.
yeah, but what do you do with that? Because my thing is just like, did you just give it to Dean because Dean is on a roll right now, or do you let CM Punk hold it?
CM
You
Punk.
let CM Punk hold it.
Like, do you,
How
do you,
about they-
I
how
mean,
about
it's
they
like,
have a great-
let him beat Dean Ambrose, which or does Dean lose to Jericho?
I know John Moxley will.
I said Dean, right? John
Yeah,
Moxley.
about 4
So,
times.
all right. My bad. Yeah, I said Dean. John Moxley. Do you let John Moxley lose it to Jericho, right? And then CM Punk comes back and then defeats Jericho, and now he's actually legitimate. Or do you just have John Moxley hold it until be the interim championship until CM Punk comes back? They fight, and who do you give it to? Do you give it to CM Punk or do you give it to John?
I
You
think
give
you
it
let Punk hold it. Yeah, I think you let Punk have it.
Yeah.
But after a 45-minute barn burner of a match, a stupid match.
Obviously, bloody as fuck.
And
Well,
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's gonna be one of those matches that you're just gonna be like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
I just hope he doesn't try to slip up on the top rope again.
Oh, I saw a great meme. It was literally like, look, a stiff breeze came through, and then it's John Moxley bleeding.
he bleeds every match.
And
He bleeds
early,
so
and
fast.
early. It's like the ring announcer is barely out of the ring yet. It's like he's bleeding. Oh, he's busted open. Oh,
Is that a breeze? No, it's John Moxley
that's
bleeding.
right. That's right. Somebody farted in the good seats, and that was it.
Did it cut John
was cut
Moxley?
open, wide open.
Yeah, next time we go to AEW, it's like, yo, I'm gonna go get some wings. Nah, John Moxley's bleeding already. Okay, it just started. The show just started. He
CM
ain't
Punk
in the ring yet.
I need to get some wings. CM Punk needs the belt more than Moxley does at this point.
Yeah.
Moxley's been the face of the company for pretty much since he debuted.
Yeah.
I mean, Omega's been hurt. Omega's going to come back and stick his face in at some point very soon.
I think he's not coming back until next year, and I think around this time, only because he's got what, 2 knees, shoulders, both shoulders. Yeah.
So he's
He got-
good now.
back,
He's just dealing with
and back.
He's
got a
good now.
Groupon on
He's
surgery.
dealing with vertigo right now.
You got a Groupon on surgery. It's true.
It's a truth.
He's dealing with his vertigo.
He's getting all of it done, and he's
Yeah.
getting his vertigo. And let's not make light of that.
Yeah.
Vertigo will ruin your career in a heartbeat. I think CM Punk needs the belt to legitimize this run and the push that they gave him initially. Moxley don't need it. Moxley can make a great match with anything.
Right.
And even still, you now have the Trios Championship coming, and Blackpool Combat Club could go for that as well too.
So does Yuta lose the ROH title or what? Does
The pure title?
Yeah, does he?
Your title?
Yeah, does
No.
he lose it now, or or does he keep it?
No.
No,
To
you
get
can
the-
keep that.
Speaking of ROH titles, where's our lovable Joe?
Oh, he's injured again.
Crickets, huh?
He's
Okay,
building
got it.
new talent.
Yeah.
He beat Jay Lethal, so now
That was a hell of a match. Hell
Yeah.
of a match. Man can work, but I don't think that's why they hired him. You're going to give him
And
some
he-
big matches, but
he
I don't
can
think
talk,
he's
he can work.
he's phenomenal. I love Samoa Joe.
Same.
I would love to see Samoa Joe go after, like, to get some new people after the title. I would love to see Joe versus John
John.
Moxley.
Moxley?
Mhm.
Oh, you mean Dean Ambrose?
Dean Moxley.
Dean Moxley. Hey, that would have been good, Dean Moxley. All right, so We're done with AEW. All right, so last segment, gentlemen. With Triple H and Stephanie being in charge, right? Who do you see? We already got one person. Who do you see coming back? It could be off the top of your heads. Make a list. Oh, you can.
I already said it.
Gargano,
It can be more than
Bray.
one.
Bray Wyatt. He'll be
Okay,
back.
That's just one person.
I was gonna say Gargano.
Yeah,
Gargano.
you got Gargano, you got Bray, who was also recently released. It's too
When-
many, bro.
When she is done with maternity leave, Candice.
Okay.
Never saw Candice as a wrestler, but okay.
What?
I wasn't really invested in Candice like that. D Moxley, he tried to wrestle.
I didn't even realize he was still here. Cedric.
Who else? I could see. Okay, and I was talking to my friends about this. Y'all might not like her. I see Billie Kay coming back.
Ooh,
Billie
she's great. She's
Question's
okay.
why? What
I liked the Iconics as a group. I don't think
Yeah.
they're good solo.
But Billie, to me, I think Billie had a better singles run than Peyton.
Did she have a run?
Yes, she did.
I
It was
don't
short
remember
lived,
that.
but get
Very.
it short lived.
But the thing is that Peyton can't come back anymore because Peyton's pregnant now.
Why? Come on, Chris. I mean, D Moxley, really?
I changed my name a while ago. That's why I brought it up.
Pretty awesome.
But I can see Billie Kay coming back.
As a legitimate threat to
No, not as a legitimate threat, like as a wrestler.
Okay.
maybe.
And she
Okay.
doesn't have to be like the whole like championship run. She could be the fall girl.
You mean the Dolph Ziggler of the women's wrestling?
Actually, that's not a bad thing to have.
That you can't do that. That is reserved for Natty.
Oh, that's a rough shot at arguably the best technical wrestler in the women's division.
Yeah, it is. But
like Liv.
what they've done to her, she's the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division.
Her online persona is crazy now. You watch her on Instagram?
She's
I
like,
Yes, that's
Right.
what I was looking for. Less hair, but ultimately, yes.
yeah.
So you talking about these, Brad?
Oh,
You
God.
like these lives? Come
Yeah,
on, you guys.
Are these too dark for you, Brad?
Come on,
No,
you guys.
don't you dare. Honestly, the thing with Natty that's weird is she's made her whole career about not being like that. I almost think that this is some kind of weird character change she's going for.
Is Tyson and her still divorced?
I don't know if they are or not. It's not, that's not my concern. But I'm watching her on TV. It's never been about showing herself. It's been
But
about
Brad, I'm
wrestling.
interested in that now because I never even thought about that. It could be a character change.
I think that she's actually doing a slow burn character change, and then she'll have one last run in some kind of different persona because she's been the same persona since she debuted.
So
It was always the Heart Dungeon thing.
So you think she'll probably have like her diva era moment, like diva?
I don't want to say that because I hate the name, but I think she'll have something that's a little more of a throwback to what she was forced to do, but also under her own control.
like an Emelina.
Maybe when the Divas era ended and it became the Women's Championship, she benefited tremendously because she's like, let's make this about the in-ring work.
Yeah.
And she really, and honestly, she's a tremendous performer. I really like watching her wrestle. I'm wondering if she's just taking control of it and saying, this is mine now.
Yeah.
And doing her thing. I mean, I don't know. I can only speculate, but it's weird to see her like that now. She's doing a lot of it. what
curious,
Al
though.
was doing.
I'm curious though, like what is I don't know, like it's so weird to she's about to pull a Hollywood Hogan. I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
her online persona, like I'm still like her sister had sex with Big E. That's I'm just they're not together. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Oh, don't act like we didn't see Total Divas and that shit didn't happen.
No, I was thinking. Wait, did she? Wait, did?
I don't watch Total
we
Divas.
know what happened. Let's put it like this.
I just think it's great that Cedric made a bad joke, and now we're going to discuss it.
I mean, fuck Hulk Hogan, by the way, with everything in my body. Yeah, that distracted me to Hulk Hogan. Fuck that dude. Anyway, so back to the segment. So last segment. So who else do we see coming up? With Triple H and Stephanie being in charge.
I have one more name.
Go ahead.
Chris Jericho. Contract's up soon.
For sure.
Change of command. Great way to do one final run and then get his Hall of Fame.
He can have a Hall of Fame run.
Yep. And I hate to say it, but at the same time, if you watch what he's doing now in AEW, he's keeping them going, but he's no longer needed.
Nope.
I think this is
he's
the
taking
time.
a back burner on a lot. He's still in major feuds, but everyone else is taking care of those feuds. Danny Garcia, Sammy Guevara.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Cedric. He is absolutely. He's done his job 10 times over for that company. Yeah. And unlike Cody, this would be a great time for him to leave.
Back to Cody.
It all comes back to Cody. When I yell at my kids later, it's going to be because of Cody Rhodes. I called my daughter the American Nightmare.
Oh my God.
So she's in the other room yelling at me.
Here's my question. Now you brought up Jericho coming from AEW to WWE. Who would be Jericho's last match? Who would you put in that position? Wait, I don't.
Sorry, I'm muted. Two feuds. First, he settles business with Kevin Owens. Period.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and then he goes after whoever is the top dog, and he goes out on his back staring at the lights. So he's going to have one more personal run, storyline run. Then there's going to be one more really, really good heavyweight championship run, which he loses.
I think it's Cody.
I was about to say that.
That could be
I
good
was just about to say that.
Who might be champion at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be some fucked up shit. The right to, in some regard, like, it's weird to say it, the fight of like who's the top dog and who was the really top dog in AEW. Like that.
You don't position it like that. You position it. You all left and you came back, and you came back for a reason.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one? Now I think Cody has the belt at that point.
Yeah.
So that's actually a hell of a storyline, and I think we just wrote it. We've just written 2 years of television. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Only person I got coming back right now, Bray. I got Bray coming back. And as weird as I think it is, but I don't think he is coming back. Maybe if everything, I don't know.
You better not say the name that I'm thinking you're gonna say.
What, Malachi?
Oh, you're gonna say Malachi? I thought you was gonna say Strowman, and I was gonna walk away right now.
Control your narrative.
I felt Strowman was coming too.
I
was
thought
about to Enzo.
I was gonna say goodbye.
Yeah, because he did put out a tweet when Bailey said control, and then he at the end of the tweet he's a narrative. I was like, ugh.
And then Karrion Kross shows up in WWE television telling him to control his ass. Look,
Yep.
Control Your Narrative was a bad idea.
Yes, it was.
No bueno.
No, it was just yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him if he did come back.
Bray. I feel Bray is on his way for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Has been for
I think-
months.
Strowman is
Yeah.
not.
No, I don't think he is one now, but Bray definitely. Very definitely. And you know what? It'd be a weird thing. It'd not be weird, but I wouldn't put it past him if he showed up in AEW. I wouldn't put it past him.
Mm.
I wouldn't.
I think he's a W.
I would have done it already though.
Yeah.
Nah,
I would've
because
done
there was that flood of every week it was a new debut. I don't know if that's good for business either because you're burying more and more wrestlers.
I would have brought him in and then put him in charge of Dark Order.
Oh, enough with the Dark Order. It's over.
Dark Order
It's
is over.
over.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And you know what? They were supposed to be spooky and evil. And then you got the House of Black, which is spooky and evil. Then you got Death Triangle, which is mean and evil. After a while, it's like it's redundant.
And now that you see people are leaving, like Anna Jay now, she's part of Jericho Appreciation Society.
And then Alan Angels, he's
Alan
gone.
Angels is gone. Who do you have left? You have
Brody's kid.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, -1. They've made more storyline out of that than any of the other people that were actually wrestling.
Yep.
Bury it. It's over. Listen, you honored Brody Lee very well, and cheers to that. But that angle died. It's over. Stop making them a thing.
Yes.
I mean, Hangman Page has got something else to do now. He's back with the Bucks and all that, and it's just enough. Enough.
Yeah.
The Elite versus the Elite at All Out for the Trios Championship.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we came, we theorized, we've laughed.
We humiliated my daughter.
Yeah, Brad has humiliated his daughter, and the thing that we take away from this is that Brad still hates Cody. So no matter,
I'm hurt. I'm hurt by Cody. Cody went down the wrong roads.
And on that note, because of that, we'll see you guys again. By the way, where can we find you guys all at?
Start out.
Yeah.
Where can we find you guys, Brad? Where everybody can find you or message?
You can find more of this razor sharp wit over at needlesstosaypodcast.com, where they don't allow me to talk about wrestling, so I had to make new friends to do it. No, honestly, I do want to say this, and I want to be sincere. I'm always making these like wise ass comments. I want to say to all of you, not only the three guys on this call, but also everybody who wasn't able to make today's call. Thank you for giving me an outlet for this. Thank you for including me. And I appreciate you guys tremendously. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
For sure.
No, of course. And Clinton, where can we find you?
You can find me at LPWC Plus, or if you want to go on my personal Instagram, it will be CMJ329.
Okay. And bro has a nickname. I mean, let them know where they can find us.
D Moxley.
D Moxley.
You can find us here on Twitch, Official True Story Bro. You can also find us on YouTube, Official True Story Bro, as well as the Twitters. Twitter, what's that Twitter? Official_TSBP.
There you go. And you can find me at here Roundhouse 84 on my Twitch TV. You can find me on my Twitter, here Roundhouse on Twitch. I said Twitch already. Twitter. You find me at Chocolate Club 23 on my Instagram. And soon,
You can find him outside Otis's house. Cheap joke, had to take it. I was too sincere the last time I thought.
more like Kevin Owens' house. But anyway, yeah, that French Canadian hot man. Anyway, yes, maybe Otis too. He's in North Carolina, so yeah. You can find me all those places, and soon we'll have a We'll have a TikTok up so you can see a lot of clips on there. I'm still in the workings of that, and yeah, once TikTok's up, everybody will know about it. Everybody will have access to it, post videos and comments and stuff like that. What IRS is the what? the IRS who's a real mean one of the evil. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mighty as one. Yes, IRS is evil. But
Yeah, Cedric, stop mixing wine and Ambien.
Oh man.
on that note, we'll see you guys next time.
See you
Cheers,
at
all.
the
Take it
crossroads.
easy.
Crossroads.